Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Vincent Esposito, and today we're going to be making orange tempeh and broccoli. Now, normally this is kind of like a staple at Chinese restaurants, but we're gonna put our own kind of healthy spin on it. We're gonna do a plant-based version with tempeh instead of any meat, and we're still gonna have all the goodies in there like broccoli. We're gonna throw in some carrots and some other stir-fried vegetables. But I'll walk you through all the steps to make the sauce, to do everything from scratch, and we'll get right into it. But before we do, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe below. I'm coming out with videos twice a week. Everything health, nutrition, wellness, longevity, and awesome plant-based recipes. So we're going through one today. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get right to it. Okay, so first, before we get started with anything, we're gonna make the rice because that's gonna take the longest to do here. So in a cup or in a bowl or in a pot, let's go with a pot, a cup of rice with 2 cups of vegetable stock. Could use water, really up to you depending on what you have. Now we're gonna really cut up everything ahead of time because stir frying is very quick, right? So we got a few cups of broccoli florets chopped. We got some carrots. We got a whole head of minced garlic. We got a chopped red onion. We got scallion whites and greens separated. Again, the whites we're gonna saute, the greens we're gonna use for garnish. And then we also have a block of tempeh and some salt and pepper. So these are our stir fry ingredients along with the rice. So we're gonna get a pan hot, and then we're gonna also put some olive oil in, and once it's hot, we're gonna stir fry our aromatics. So we're gonna have our onion in there, we're gonna cook it until it gets a little softened, a little translucent, about a few minutes, 2-3 minutes. Then we're gonna add our garlic and our scallion whites, and we're gonna saute all that down until it's fragrant. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of salt, give it a stir so it really brings out all those flavors. And you're looking for that little bit of browning, as you'll see at the end. And then once it's done, we're gonna pull it off the pan, set it aside until later. Now we're gonna return the pan, add a little bit more oil. We're gonna do the same thing with the carrots and the tempeh. So again, we're gonna saute it down. We're looking for a little bit of browning here. We're gonna hit it with a little salt, toss the coat. And we're not using a lot of salt here. Less than a teaspoon, just to kind of bring the flavors out. Hit it with a little pepper. And then we're gonna set that aside as well. Finally, we're gonna do our broccoli by itself because there's so much. Now you'll notice in the beginning here, how that broccoli is kind of falling over the sides and I'm having a lot of trouble getting it around the pan. Notice towards the end here how it really starts to cook down. Again, we're really just gonna season it with a little salt and pepper, and we're gonna set it aside. Now it's time to make our sauce. So we have 3 oranges juiced. We're gonna add a couple tablespoons tamari, juice of a lime, and then we're gonna add some ground ginger. Now, generally when you make Asian dishes, you're gonna wanna use fresh ginger and chop it up. That would have went in with the aromatics. I just happen to not have any, so I use ground ginger. Now, in a separate bowl, we're gonna have equal parts water and arrowroot flour instead of cornstarch. Now, that's gonna be our thickening agent, and we're gonna keep that separate for when we make the sauce. So in a pan on medium heat, we're gonna bring our sauce to a simmer. We're gonna cook it down till it's about 2/3 of what it originally was. And once that's done, I'm gonna notice that I need a little bit more salt in there, so add a little bit more tamari. And then we're gonna add our slurry, our arrowroot slurry. And you're gonna notice, I'm just gonna stir it. I'm gonna reduce the heat to low, and I'm just gonna stir it, and notice how it thickens up. And again, we're gonna coat this. We're gonna coat all our vegetables with that. So once it's nice and thick, and remember, you wanna stir it as you're going so it doesn't burn. Once it's nice and thick, we're gonna set it aside. Now to that sauce, we're gonna add sesame oil, and the reason we don't cook it is because so it keeps its flavor. And when you cook sesame oil, it loses some of that flavor. Now in a bigger pot, or wok if you have a wok at this point, we're gonna return all our vegetables, our cooked vegetables. And this is just to really heat them up. Now we're gonna do it at a fairly high heat, and then we're gonna add our sauce that we made, our thickened sauce, and we're just gonna turn to coat everything. And you wanna make sure everything's evenly coated so that flavor is obviously distributed evenly. And then once that's done, we're gonna get ready to plate everything. We're gonna add a little bit of that rice, that brown rice. We're gonna add our vegetables all together right there on the plate. Get as much as you can in there. And then we're gonna garnish with some scallions, those scallion greens, and some sesame seeds. And now is gonna be time to try it. All right, so now it's time to try this and see how everything came out. Oh my God, this is phenomenal. So lightly stir frying everything. The reason why I did it in batches is so the dish would keep its consistency, which it does pretty well. Adding the sauce at the end just coats everything and gives it all that flavor. You get the orange. The powdered ginger, getting a little bit more than I thought I would. Again, I would prefer to use whole ginger. I just did not have it, so I used the powdered ginger today. But it really comes through and adds a nice flavor. It has a nice amount of salt, and then the sesame oil at the end. I'm telling you, this is just as good, if not better, than takeout. Just a little different spin on it. And if you have a wok, you could do this a lot faster than I just did, because I had to do everything in batches. But yeah, I hope you guys try this at home. If you do, hit me up in the comments. I wanna know how it comes out. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Coming out with videos every week, healthy cooking, stuff like this that taste awesome. But until next time, I'm gonna finish eating this. But until then, take care.